Hi there, sports fans. This is Quinito Henson, and we're on Play It Right TV.
And I'm Dyan, Castillejo. Get ready to uncover the future of Philippine sports.
Well, tonight, as in all nights, Play It Right TV will tackle a hot topic in Philippine sports. Maybe we can even consider global sports. But here on Play It Right TV, we've got very exciting guests, and they'll be talking about something that I think will be a milestone in the histories of both the PBA and the East Asia Super League. Dyan?
Super news for basketball fans in the Philippines and all over the world. So please, we would love for you to join the conversation. Tell us what you think and place your comments below.
And don't forget to like and subscribe our channel. You want to, of course, get notified of any new videos, new episodes of Play It Right TV. So hit that bell button so that you can get notified from Play It Right TV all the time. Don't forget, like and subscribe us.
All right, so we're going to introduce our very special guests. They are coming to us from California, and they have some big news. Talk about the big news. Let's welcome the CEO of the East Asia Super League, EASL, Mr. Matt Beyer. Hello, Matt.
Hi, how are you, Dyan? How are you, Quinito? Great to see you guys.
Thank you. And of course, also joining us, the CFO of the EASL, Mr. Henry Kerins.
Dyan,
Hello
Quinito,
from
thank
Manila.
you so much for having us.
Hi there. Hi there, Matt. Hi there, Henry.
How's it going?
All right. Well, we know that you are very busy, gentlemen. We're going to get it started right away. The Bay Area Dragons has some big news. You are moving to the Philippines as your home base and will be participating in the next Governor's Cup. Tell us all about this.
Yeah,
Matt.
well, we're in the position right now where, as we're getting closer to our season start on October 12th this year, and working on all of our planning, that it looked like, due to the current COVID situation in Hong Kong and that the border is essentially closed, that we were going to need to have our very groundbreaking Bay Area Dragons team, which is composed of players from mainland China, Hong Kong, Chinese Taipei or Taiwan, all on one squad, that we needed to find a home. And so we floated this idea around with different stakeholders, and actually before we were even able to bring it up to the PBA formally, Chairman Ricky Vargas of the PBA board said that the PBA would welcome this concept to the PBA. And so recently, Henry and I went to the Philippines and worked on a formal presentation to the PBA board, and were able to receive unanimous support for the Bay Area Dragons joining the PBA Governor's Cup in what should be October this year, and also playing with its base in Manila in EASL competition regionally.
Well,
Fantastic.
Matt, tell us about the Dragons. How did this name come about? It's a very interesting moniker for this team.
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, that's a great question, Quinito. And I think for some people who may be following us closely, that the Bay Area Dragons were formerly known as the Bay Area Phoenixes. And when we were in the process of looking at this potential joining of the PBA, it was brought to our attention. And also, just by knowing the makeup of the teams, we were aware that there was already a Phoenix within the PBA. And so we needed to find a new name. And so that was, I guess, the simplest answer and the most practical situation that was necessary. But then we started looking at what are connotations for a name that will resonate positively in the Philippines as well as China market, a symbol that makes people think of Hong Kong, which is the home of the team. And many people know that about Bruce Lee and his dragon affiliations. I don't think many people know that Henry Kerins, our CFO, his Chinese name is Bruce Lee, Li Xiaolong in Chinese. So we have a dragon within the team already.
That's so interesting. Li Xiaolong, did you say his Chinese name is Li Xiaolong?
Yeah, like Bruce Lee, which is yeah, exactly.
Hey, it wasn't given to me. Sorry, it wasn't my choice. It was given to me as a kid. I grew up in Hong Kong, and my teachers were like, "Look, your brother is a big trouble." So his name is Chung Long, which is Jackie Chan, and they gave me the name Li Xiaolong. So I carried it ever since.
That is
Well,
so cool.
yeah, Henry, you and Matt speak fluent Mandarin. But I'm already imagining a dragon dance to introduce your team on the first game of the PBA. Can you say something in Mandarin to all of our Chinese fans out there? We'll start you off, Henry, with your greeting in Mandarin, and then Matt.
I won't do a greeting. I'll say, 你从来没看过这么好的一个中国篮球队. You've never
What was
seen such a
that?
good Chinese team, and we're going to
Okay.
deliver a serious team in serious spades, and we're going to take this conference extremely seriously, like everyone else does. But this is going to be an extremely professional team, but we're going to be delivering a professional, respectable face of Chinese basketball within the Philippines.
Matt, your turn to speak Mandarin.
菲律宾球迷，我们很期待作为场上最好的菲律宾联赛队伍，所以期待每天跟菲律宾当地的队伍打仗。I just said that we're excited to be the best team potentially in the Philippine PBA if our merits allow that to be true, and that we're looking for a battle on the court with the local Filipino teams on a nightly basis.
Wow,
Fantastic.
That's amazing. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
really love to hear that from you both, the blending of two cultures. Well, you say you're serious, definitely going to be a serious team, and it sounds like it. And it's so exciting to have you as a guest team in the PBA. It's been a long time, Quinito, since I believe a foreign team has come. Was it difficult to get the approval of the PBA when you made the presentation?
No, I don't think it was difficult because I think that the PBA are, visionary group of leaders that understand that the Philippines loves basketball and that the core of entertaining the basketball fan base in the Philippines is to offer a great entertaining product, and innovation constantly, including new opponents, is a good way to keep fans engaged.
Henry, a question about this team. How is it going to be composed? Matt already mentioned that there will be players coming from Hong Kong, from Taiwan, mainland China. But in selecting the kind of players you want to play for this team, how is the process going to be? I understand that there will also be imports and an Asian import on this team.
Look, I'll say Matt is much more qualified to speak to this point, but to be honest, I think we're going to have a very solid 4-5 position covered. And on the import side, we'll be looking at guards. And if you're a Filipino basketball fan looking for a fast-paced game, but very, very hard down low and Junmo Fajardo types, that's what you're going to get. I think it's going to be very exciting. Back to Matt's point earlier, not only are we looking to elevate the game at the club level, we're looking to elevate the Gilas and the SBP level. So this will be an exciting opportunity for a lot of our solid 5s and 4s within the PBA and within the Filipino Basketball League to experience, some hard hitting and also some physical play down low.
It's super exciting.
Yeah, Matt, you want to add to that?
I think that you're going to see some distinct characteristics of the Chinese team that would kind of be in line with people's expectations. Like there'll be more size on the roster, like potentially the domestic players, and then I think for the import players, because for EASL the team will play with 2 imports. For Governor's Cup, we'll go according to whatever the rules are for the Governor's Cup, but because the Governor's Cup is the way it is, that the imports will then be smaller players. So you should see more size on the Chinese part of the roster, and then the import guards, and I think for anyone who follows Chinese basketball, the thing that I get concerned about when you look at the strength of a roster is that the Filipinos have so much strength at the guard position in comparison to Chinese players, and so that'll have to be a potential issue that we look at when the roster is being built, so that that it's a competitive team. We can't lose the ball before crossing halfway up the court every time. So
Sounds like super exciting basketball up ahead. Now, can we talk about the schedule of this? So the PBA Governors Cup, I understand, is going to start in October, and the EASL is also going to get off in October. So how are you going to manage the schedule, and then playing home and away, and the schedule with the PBA? How's it going to work out?
So the schedule is with EASL starts on October 12th, and we play approximately once every 3 or 4 weeks. And so the PBA games will take place on a more regular basis during the Cup season. And so the PBA is already working. Deputy Commissioner Eric Castro is very diligent at work on just making sure that the EASL and PBA schedules are aligned, and that we are able to not cause any conflicts or negative side effects for the scheduling, but it's totally feasible. So especially now, this for the PBA teams and the Dragons, that their travel burden is somewhat eliminated in the fact that now, rather than the PBA teams going to Hong Kong for away games, it's just going to be somewhere in Metro Manila.
And this question now for Henry. The team that's going to be playing in the PBA Governors Cup from EASL will be staying in Manila. And my understanding is that this will be a prolonged period. Where will they be staying? And how long do you project them to be staying in Manila?
Look, we budgeted and we expect them to be in Manila for 243 days. We want them to be there for 2 months of preseason. We want them to be able to travel to Australia and play preseason games and to play in Europe. But really, the home base for year one is Manila. So we're finalizing the exact destination. These are premier players. These are premier athletes, premier coaches, premier trainers. So we are finalizing a venue that's appropriate for that and negotiating that, and we'll finalize that soon. Hopefully, be announcing that soon. But I would expect that where we'll be based in Manila and where we're training is going to be a top of the line facility. How we're treating this competition and how we're treating that Governor's Cup and the aspiration to win that is reflective of where we're going to be staying and how we're treating this team. So I think the team's going to bring an A game, and I think where we're going to stay is going to reflect that. And the general feeling of the team and everyone we've signed thus far is that they're coming there to win. So I think you should expect our announcements in a couple of weeks to also reflect those sort of narratives.
Yeah, so it sounds like this I can't wait to watch the Dragons team. It sounds like they're gonna give everyone a run for their money here in the PBA and inject some super high level basketball. But I wanted to ask Matt more about the EASL. It's starting in October. Tell us more about it. There are going to be 8 teams, and how is it going to go? The format, and till when will the season be? And who else will be competing in the EASL?
Sure. So we have, in addition to 2 PBA teams, the 8 teams are composed of 2 Japan B-League teams, 2 Korea KBL teams, 1 team from the Chinese Taipei P-League, and then the Dragons. So that's the 8-team makeup. The schedule starts October 12th. We take breaks for the 2 FIBA windows. So one that's projected to be in November of 2022 and another that's in February 2023. We also take a break for a few weeks during FIFA World Cup, which is taking place in December in Qatar this year. So it's off its normal, summer schedule. we don't want to compete for viewers with that. And then our
Mhm.
Final Four takes place March 3rd to 5th of 2023.
And where will that be?
That is yet to be determined. I hope that there's a strong potential that we can host it in Manila, and we can do some sort of a warm up for the 2023 World Cup, if that's possible. I think that if we're able to look at what are some great host cities, Manila could be an awesome host city, but we're still determining this at this time. I think we're going to know that probably as we get to August to pre start of the season.
Well, Matt, your league has already done 4 short-term tournaments, very successful. And in the run-up to the inauguration of the first EASL season, there
Yeah.
have been a lot of ripples internationally, globally. And my understanding is some clubs in Europe have reached out to EASL for possible tie-ups. Is this true? And tell us about it.
Yeah, so I mean, we're in the process of discussing partnerships with various European clubs about strategic collaboration. I think like that part of it is focused on how to add in some like global best practices into the way that we run EASL. So learning some of the things that make the other top teams and top leagues work and applying those to EASL. Another part is talent scouting and identification for really the advancement of Asian players. So if we're able to put together an alliance of top European teams that are I guess like friendly teams of EASL, we create an opportunity to be a platform for those players, and especially the younger players, that if they are ever going to go abroad for some sort of career development opportunities, that they have a place to do that. So we've been looking at it in Europe and Australia. We're also working on an alliance with a big organization affiliated with a lot of NBA players in the US. There's going to be announcements about all of that. We're also working on ambassador relationships with certain up and coming NBA players of Asian heritage. So there's going to be more headlines about what are some of these big relationships that EASL is forming, as we really have the objective of being a league that's housed in Asia and our key market being Asia, but we also want to be globally relevant at the same time.
Big relationships means a big audience. Tell us about the potential viewers for EASL. Is it going to be able to be seen in the Philippines? How is it going to be broadcasted? And where?
I mean, Henry, I think you should chime in on this one.
Yeah, I mean, I think for us, we've always had a very democratic approach on how we want basketball to be viewed and consumed. And, from day one, we've wanted to create a premium product that's delivered across OTT and on terrestrial to all of our fans. We had a great relationship with the top broadcasters in all the markets, in China, Korea, Japan, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Macau, Philippines. But even some of the peripheral markets like Vietnam and Thailand and Indonesia, and some of the global markets like the Middle East and North America. So that's something that we're very keen on continuing to grow. I will say now that within the Philippines, within EASL's broadcast, our fans are going to have a great experience in terms of how they'll view it, whether it's on digital or whether it's on television. And that's something that we're very, that's a very core part of our heart and strategy in terms of making sure that happens. So when we take either the best teams in the Philippines, whether it's the Ginebra or whether it's San Miguel or whether it's Alaska or whoever it is, to Japan or to Korea, and we broadcast those games, the fans in the Philippines are going to be able to view that in a seamless way, but also in a very premium way that'll make all of our fans very proud and make it a very exciting product. So we're really excited about that.
Super.
Yeah, now we're talking about the markets that are opening up for the EASL. Can you tell us, Matt, what possible effects this will be on the PBA? PBA has basically been a national league for a national audience, but this opportunity to showcase the PBA beyond the Philippine borders, I think is phenomenal.
I believe, yeah, I think it's phenomenal too. I mean, I think that really what we're looking to do is to add value to the PBA by elevating it among its regional peers. And I mean, our whole thesis is that there's a lot of regional rivalries that exist, and fans love watching the Gilas. And in other countries and territories, fans also love watching their national teams more than the NBA, more than their domestic leagues. And so we are working on funneling that passion into a great product. And um, when you're showing a passionate Filipino team, and the camera is showing an audience full of very passionate fans at a game in a PBA arena, and that's seen all over the region of 1.7 billion people. And as EASL expands from 8 teams in season one to 16 teams in season three, and new markets in the future, that this is going to be seen in a very high profile way, and that your exposure just grows from the domestic audience, and over 10 times that to this whole regional audience. And that's really what's important for the everyone to keep in mind as EASL grows.
I think it's
Fantastic.
amazing. Yeah, I think it's an amazing opportunity. Really, not just for Philippine basketball, but for the region, um, and for the fans from Korea, from China, and from Japan and the Philippines to enjoy each other's games and quality of play, because you know how they play basketball in these different countries. Really, there's a different style. And I think the fans are going to be appreciating these different styles showcased in the EASL.
Yeah, I think, and also too, it's I mean, it's like what you just said, Quinito. It's an educational experience, and I think what it really does is, like, you have these mature leagues, the PBA, the second oldest league in the world after the NBA. You have China, 20 teams, Japan 22 teams, Korea 10 teams, the Chinese Taipei P League growing rapidly. These ecosystems are all mature and they're growing, but like, for the players to get better and for you to see a steady stream of 18
Yes.
national teams in the Olympics, and more in the NBA, more Asian players showing on an annual basis in the NBA, there has to be like an adaptation of these playing styles from the other countries, and an aggregate group of these players to rise with just better competition. So that's what we really hope to leave behind for the game, is a platform so that the Asian players can really join that global basketball conversation, the same way that you've seen Europeans joining the NBA, for the past 20 some years. And I think that this can be an impetus for the same thing happening with Asia.
Yeah,
Fantastic. Yeah.
yeah.
No, for sure. I can see it already, like elevating each other's games, and it's good that it's gonna be like helping, the level of basketball in the region. Right. I mean, so that we can be just as competitive as everybody else. And I know we don't have to talk to you about the Filipino fans being the best basketball fans in the world. So I know that that's something that the EASL is also going to be enjoying. So thank you so much for coming to the Philippines, and we're super excited. So my last question is, when are you guys coming? When is the team gonna be here?
Well, our team is going to be all together and starting practicing in Manila no later than August 1st. Henry and I were just in the Philippines, week and a half ago. I think you're going to see us no later than second half of April, early May, back in country again. Thank goodness that it's the borders are open. And
Yes.
in the meantime, though, what's most important is that people don't forget to tune in to Play It Right TV. and get all the EASL news here.
Well,
We're
thanks.
so
I know
excited.
Quinito has
Yeah.
been talking about you both to me for the longest time. He says you're like best friends now, and yeah, it sounds like you guys are not just serious about your basketball, but you're also very Pinoy at heart, very Filipino at heart. So we're gonna be welcoming you. Thank you.
Thank you
Until
so
the
much.
next time.
I would say
Yeah.
this
Thank you so much.
representation. It's always more fun in the Philippines, including EASL.
Well, just before we let you go, guys, Henry and Matt, can we just ask for your final words, maybe to invite the Filipino fans to keep checking social media and media in general about the latest news on EASL so that they'll be updated, so that when the league finally starts on October, everyone's going to be so excited. Henry, you first.
Hey, Quinito and Diane, I don't want to leak anything, but we have some serious Filipino news coming out in the next couple of weeks. Obviously we got a serious Chinese team playing in the PBA, and based in Manila for EASL, we're going to be playing 3 home games a month there. So we're super excited about it. From a fan perspective, I would just say, get ready for premier basketball delivered. And local heroes to be exposed, and we're more excited than anyone to deliver that. So we'll see you soon.
And Matt?
I would just like to say a really big thank you to all of the Filipino fans for continuing to support EASL. Like Henry said, we have some really big announcements coming up. I think, the biggest news that's going to come is when the season starts and everyone can see how exciting EASL is and watch the PBA teams, destroy the regional rivals on a weekly basis.
Wow.
That'll be so exciting and a lot of fun too.
The Dragons
very
are
much.
coming. The
Yeah.
Dragons are coming to Manila. Matt Beyer, Henry Kerins, thank you so much for being
Thank you, guys.
on
Thank you.
Straight Right TV, and we'll talk
Thanks
to you
for
again
joining
really
us.
soon.
Bye.
Well, Diane, those two gentlemen, their passion is just amazing.
I love it.
The way they thought about the EASL and giving the PBA an opportunity to showcase its brand of basketball beyond the Philippines. I think it's a great piece of timing. Kasi, galing sa pandemic, ang dami mga problema. Pero ngayon, borders are opening up. And I think it's time for the PBA to look beyond the Philippine borders and then grow internationally. That's great.
Yeah, I mean, just as you said, the timing is everything, and now they can come back and forth without having to do quarantine. And I'm really excited about the level of basketball. It's always good to have a fresh injection of teams, and they sound super serious. And you must know because you've been talking to them for a long time, and I think it's just really going to elevate the level of basketball, not just in the Philippines, but in the Asian region. And the winners are going to be, of course, the Filipino basketball fans. So look forward to that EASL team coming, the Bay Area Dragons. And before we go, we would like to thank our partner who made this show possible. Whether you're someone who loves working out or taking part in different sports, or a person who prefers to look and feel good, PlayItRight.com has something for you. They have well-known and respected brands in sports like Asics, Molton, Mikasa, Mueller, Donjoy, Butterfly, and many others. So that's PlayItRight.com, offering premium products at reasonable prices. Check it out in the link below.
Well, we hope you guys enjoyed this episode on Play It Right TV. As you know, we're always here, Diane and I, to share with you insights and also offer you great comments and great guests, so that for every episode, you'll learn more about sports and appreciate the game as it is.
This is your one-stop shop for the latest on the greatest in sports. I'm Dyan Castillejo.
And this is Quinito Henson.
And we are here to play it right.